Did you know that one of the most anticipated horror films of 2025 is about 17 kids who vanish from a single classroom at 2:17 a.m.? Introducing Weapons. Coming from the mind of Zach Kreger, the director of Barbarian. And many critics are already calling it an instant classic. With a story that blends grief, hysteria, and surreal terror, it is shaping up to be one of the most interesting horror films in recent memory. So let's break down Weapons, what makes it unique, and what it might actually be about. Weapons takes place in a small town of Maybrook, where one night, an entire elementary school classroom vanishes without explanation. 17 kids, gone exactly at 2:17 a.m. We meet Archer Graff, played by Josh Brolin, snappy guy. Archer Graff's son was among the kids who ended up going missing. We also meet Justine Gandy, a teacher and the only person left at the classroom after the children disappear. And for some reason, they only left from her classroom. She's played by Julia Garner. And from the teaser trailers, I cannot wait for this performance. I think it's going to be one of my favorite of the year. Now, while the premise sounds supernatural or ghostly, the real horror in Weapons might actually be emotional. The early reactions are really describing it as a terrifying blend of grief, paranoia, kind of like Hereditary or The Babadook to a degree. Supposedly, the horror from this film isn't really going to come from jump scares. It's about just watching the true descent into madness of this town. The fear and the disturbing unknowing of what happened to these kids, for the families, for that teacher, and for the entire community, to be honest. I anticipate this movie being quite a slow burn because it is, again, the descent into madness, and then exponentially increases towards the peak. Another thing that makes Weapons so ambitious is the storytelling style. So Zach Kreger is going to use a multi-narrative structure. So think movies like Pulp Fiction, where multiple things are happening, but not necessarily all at once or at the same time. Each character experiences the horror from a different angle. This kind of fragmentation in the structure allows the tension to build by keeping the audience off balance. Since it really feels like a whodunit style film, I really think there's going to be tons of silver linings and red herrings where you're going to feel like you know exactly what happened to the kids, and then 15 minutes later, something else is revealed that completely blows your mind. But now let's talk about the actual mystery of the film, and the time, 2:17 a.m. And if 2:17 sounds familiar, well, have you heard of Room 217? Neither have I, because in The Shining, the room is actually called 237. And I'm assuming you thought I was going to be wrong about that, so gotcha. But the timestamp 2:17 becomes an obsession for the characters and the viewers. Why this time? What caused those kids at 2:17 to just get out and leave? So I have not seen the movie, I really don't know anything about it, but my random guess right now is that it is classroom number 2 and there are 17 kids who are missing. I think that has something to do with it. That's just my hunch. I have no other knowledge. That's just my intuition. In numerology, kind of the spiritual explanation for numbers, 217 often signifies a message from your angels encouraging you to embrace spiritual growth and trust your intuition. Now, relating it back to the film, maybe it's not necessarily the angels encouraging these children to do something, but they are definitely trusting their intuition. And here's a crazy part of the explanation. It also suggests that your thoughts and intentions are aligning with your higher purpose, and that you are on the right path towards manifesting your desires. In manifestation, it suggests that your desires are on the verge of manifestation. Interestingly enough, 217 is typically very, very much associated with a positive outlook. But maybe that's exactly why they're using it in this film, to be the complete antithesis to that notion. Other speculations for Weapons have to do with government experiments and cult activity. All in all, I think the success of this film, at least box office wise, is going to come from the ambiguity of the marketing. That's really what the power is in this film. It's the whodunit element. It's not about the answers, it's about the lack thereof and the dread that coincides with that. And this director only relatively recently broke into the mainstream with Barbarian. But if you've seen Barbarian, then you're familiar with some of the unexpected things that happen in that movie. My god, was it batshit crazy. And with Weapons, apparently Kreger is upping the stakes. He reportedly turned down major studios' offers to maintain full creative control, and he has said that this is the most personal film to date. It is also the biggest. Warner Brothers is backing the project, and it has some pretty big names. Two people who fought in Infinity War. The marketing for this film went viral pretty quickly because I think the mystery is just so enticing to everyone. And they're taking it very seriously. There's actually a website, ARG style, that you can visit called maybrookmissing.com. And it is filled with strange documents, countdowns, and coded messages. The film even had a fucking crossover event with Fortnite. Controversial, but definitely attention-grabbing. The marketing has definitely caused an immense amount of suspense, way before the film has even come out. And the reactions from some of the advanced screenings have been amazing. People love this film. A lot of feedback has indicated that it is one of the most fun and original horror films since, like, The Babadook. The general consensus is that weapons is not what you expect. And I don't even know what to expect, so that's crazy to me. This film is not going to hold your hand, and my guess is that it's going to be a film you need to see twice to understand. I personally am so excited for this film, and I cannot wait to see what the hell happened to those kids, because goddamn, that's interesting. I haven't seen the film yet, obviously, but it feels like such a breath of fresh air for people to be having this conversation about horror, especially after we just got past Sinners. I know the world's kind of on fire right now, but horror? It's doing pretty well.